Welcome to, well, I guess Uplift Auction Week. It's Tuesday, but it was weird to write Uplift Auction Week on a Tuesday. But yesterday the first round finished out, and tomorrow the second round finished out. And Corey and I thought we'd just get on here and do some stuff. But it's always good to start with a video, especially on auction week.
Hey, if you could join us up the front. Sunrise will be happening shortly. So.
The silence when the sun comes up is power.
Where we go one, we go all. 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 Together we cannot fall. Together we cannot fall. Where we go one, we go all. Together we cannot fall. The silence when the sun comes up. The family we are building. The community and the tribe. Together we cannot fall. Together we cannot fall. Where we go one, we go. Together we cannot fall. Together we cannot fall. Where we go one, we go all. Together we cannot fall. Silence when the sun comes down.
Blammo.
Yeah. I'm kind of tired of pissants, Corey.
Okay.
But
Go on.
This auction has taught me something.
Just so we're clear, you said piss ants.
Yeah, piss ants. Yeah. Those little ants that think that they're tough, but they piss all over things because they think that they can. It's a whole thing. Anyway, this auction has taught me that there's some really flipping phenomenal people in the Uplift. People who are working together, people who are here for the community, and people who are genuinely excited about where we're headed. And the beginning of the show yesterday, I wasn't focused on what we were doing here because I was trying to get my bids in last minute. But like when I saw people's eyes start lighting up, I mean, I didn't really see them because we're on the other side of the world and stuff, but like they were so excited to get these plots, and like within seconds, within minutes, right, they were in there grinding around spawns in Londum and in Gratitude, and like people were building stuff. Like I went for a bit of a rail ride today. There's tons of stuff being built, like within seconds of people getting their plots. They were on the land. They were waiting on their land when they claimed their plots from Atomic to get in there and start grinding and building right away. And I was like, wow, man, like there's some really excited people out there that want to build and want to be part of this metaverse and want to, make some amazing, wonderful, great creations, which is really exciting because this is essentially the first time that we've ever done this scale of auction. This is, well, I mean, why don't you tell us what's so special about this auction for you? Something that hasn't happened ever before, right? Like,
I mean, so basically we put everything that we had left over from all the different areas where we've had Freeland going out and had our planet stuff happening, and a map that we another Strava map that we did Gratitude, we put on sale. Number one, like if anybody who wanted to buy a piece of land that was kind of in the Uplift service wallet hasn't been able to do it for 6 months, that's available now. So that's fun. Like, so the empire building thing, right? Like, you have a piece of land you want to, kind of expand. The only way to do it with wallet stuff that we had, and we had like, a really good chunk, was this way. But the biggest one is that, this is the land sale before we do the first airdrop for DAO tokens. So, at the end of April, we're talking about doing a snapshot of everybody who owns land, how much land they own. And for every piece of land that you own, for every land NFT you have in your wallet, you're going to get some DAO token. And officially yesterday, the Uplift DAO is now a reality in Wyoming. So that is like step by step becoming more real all the time. So yeah, I think those would be the two things for me. Well, and like we did a map based auction in Chicken Ka, back in the day, feels like 18 trillion years ago. This is the first time we've had like multiple maps. And I think the system has been refined, and I think it's been working pretty well. So I guess those three things. Am I missing anything?
Yeah. Well, so I mean, of course, because like it's never that simple. We don't do things simply around here. There's another interesting thing that's happening, which is the dropping of shards, and that's essentially the one world that we've never actually put any land out other than to a few communities. People who are bidding and doing auction things are getting these shards, and these shards will be blendable for a land plot in the future, I guess, which is really cool. So there's that, and then we're contemplating ideas for the future, I guess. Now there was a couple of really interesting things that happened. And there's a poll in the Discord. So definitely go and check out the Discord and vote. There were a couple people who got thrown off by the 1 minute kind of glitch that happens with Atomic Hub. And they asked, oh, there's no bids on this plot. Can I just buy it? Well, I guess kind of the answer is no, because if we let you do that, then we have to let everyone do that. And we had an internal discussion about it. And it's like, well, maybe we should let everyone do that. Right? Because like people get bid out of land at the last moment, right? And you got to collect that wax back. That takes a couple minutes. And then if you want to go, I like the way that it's set up, but it is quite interesting because of the way that the rollover on the auctions works, right? Like you could have, Corey and I could bid up a piece of land for an hour after the auction is finished until one of us finally, gives up. And all of the other auction lands will have been gone. Right? They're all closed already. So the idea, the poll in Discord basically asks, would you like another 24-hour auction after all of the auctions have closed down? So go in there and vote yes or no. It's going to be, again, a nice test case for the DAO because this is a community thing. We had this discussion as a team, and it's like, yeah, why don't we give the people the chance to vote on that? So if you want to speak a little bit more on that, there's no guarantee. I mean, if the no polls are winners, then there won't be any more, and that will be closed indefinitely until it's open again. But right now, it seems like 80% of the people want that 24-hour auction thing. Again, that's cool. We haven't decided anything, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like what a great sort of pre-stage for what the DAO's gonna be like. Lisa, we actually it's the Biddle DAO, like HODL, but like build and HODL put together in Wyoming. Yep. So yeah, there was just a bunch of Uplift branded stuff that we didn't want to fuck with. So yeah, it's called the Biddle DAO in Wyoming, and of course it's going to be running the Uplift, and it's gonna be pretty cool. Yep.
So Gratitude and Londum and Genesis closed out yesterday. I believe this is correct, but I'm not 100% sure. But like almost every single plot in Genesis is out of the Uplift service account. Like somebody has taken it or owned it or mapped it to their name, which is really exciting. That's essentially the first world that was ever opened, and there's almost no plots there, which is really cool.
Yeah,
that's things are about to maybe get a little bit crazy because supply and demand. When there's no plots, what happens? The big 250 by 250s that went on sale. I mean, I'm excited to see what goes in there. I see you got your screen up. Maybe we should do some gratitudes before we get too far into it.
We can. There's just some stuff going on in the background.
Oh, okay. Sure. So yeah, again, 24 hours from now, a little bit less, I guess, 23 hours from now, I guess maybe that'll be kind of when Uplift and the Borvalis and Swineland Rails finish up. I'm pretty excited. Corey knows I kind of went a little bit hard on gratitude, and we created this. Well, I'm just gonna show you guys. We kind of talked about it yesterday, but well, Corey does that. I decided that one thing that the Uplift doesn't have is a private rail. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm that weird hippie dude that was like, love peace, that decided to privatize the post office. That's me. So this is essentially, I made this today, the SkyRail network, and it's pretty huge actually. So this comes from an idea that the Nasty Hooks and I had long time ago, because we had this plot up here and they had this plot down here. I don't know, I guess you can't see the cursor on my screen, but the bottom purple plot was the Nasty Hooks community plot. And then they ended up getting a great deal on that one that says Nasty Hooks. And there's kind of like a Uplift World project temple of gratitude in the center that we've been working with. And then a project that Cowie is affiliated with, they got one of the community plots up to the north. And we thought, how cool would it be to hook all of these together? And we weren't actually able to do it. We were actually waiting for estate sales, right? But, some people, for example, there's a little orange box there, right? And we gifted TC one of our community plots just because TC is awesome. And he came in and he built a porter room there, which was kind of cool. But this thing kind of expanded over the course of the auctions, and Jimmy D and Cowie and a couple other people, we all kind of decided that we were just going to make this massive rail. And when I put this together today, I was surprised at actually how big it was. And then I looked at the map and I was like, wow, there's all these other like little blue sections that are around it that people could potentially extend the rail. I mean, you could extend it over to EOS USA. I mean, we make fun of the fact that we don't really want to hang out with them, but we do. It's all just jokes, and there's all these like little extensions. So this is going to be my pet project. Like, I might try to pick up some of these rails that extend. And if anyone happens to be in the vicinity that wants to connect to this epic private rail, I would definitely, consider it, because it's going to be,
that's cool.
It's going to be one of the 10 wonders of the Uplift World someday.
Well, that's, now that I know that exists, you're going to have to send me this screenshot, because now, like, I kind of want to see, like, what, if anything, in this secondary auction is around, so that I can just, like, get some.
Right. And so, like, I can give you a little bit of a rundown too, like where it says Jimmy there, there's a plot below. That's owned by Chia. Chia does some really cool aquariums and fishing derbies and things like that. The other one as well, that's next to the Jimmy one, that blue one, that's also Chia won that one as well. And the little blue piece above that, he's actually decided to gift to some of his friends, some really crucial people in the Uplift, which would be really cool. Darkness Rising and his crew that do the Theta things. Those are the kind of pink boxes. There's a really epic Rocket and Groot statue done by Darkness Rising right there, which is really cool. There's the Marshmallow Man. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is in the vicinity as well. That was another plot that we gifted out.
That build's crazy,
right? And the Hudo Gallery is that little yellow box up north, and then north of that is the blockchain cards guys as well. and of course, the nasty hooks, and that's surrounded by a bunch of Yoshi Drops community plot members, and then the official nasty hooks plot, which is below. I mean, honestly, I kind of want to see how far we can go with this. There's even a 5-plot line to the one north of the Uplift Jedi that could be represented, and I just think it'd be cool to have a rail system that isn't national. Can you tell I'm pretty excited about this?
Dude, I think this is fun. So I want to get to Lisa's got a bunch of really awesome questions. So just Uplift or Biddle. And so when you do Biddle, it's BUILD DL, sorry, like hodl is hold, build, Biddle. That is exactly how it sounds, of course. Does it have a newsletter? No, we have a blog though. You go to you can go to the TheUpLift.world, or you can go to wherewehideallthealpha.com for the blog. And as far as like turning the community site into a news site, I mean, again, like the blog, like we're putting stuff out constantly, and by we I mean Jimmy. So there's like a constant flow of content. How I'm sure we could sort of maybe integrate that into a feed on the community site. There is, I don't know if you've seen it yet, Lisa. I think it's Framed Games and Tiny Miss Brittany are a couple actually. She's been making the shop list, which has become sort of a list of all the shops in the world and a list of attractions as well. But her husband, Frame Games, is actually making an app that is doing a bunch of crazy things. So yeah, I mean, if there's a way that we can sort of populate that with the stuff on the blog, I'm sure we could do that. But yeah, the blog's been pumping a lot. It's awesome seeing Chris talking about the bottom catty corner off of EOS USA's plot. Lawrence, I'm at the beautiful purple plot touching Jimmy and would let a private rail run through. I mean, anytime you get a chance to be touching Jimmy.
Yeah. So honestly, I kind of deleted that, but I'm gonna put an article out on the wherewehideallthealpha.com, and those little dots are the only things that need to be connected, and like it's kind of lined out, and I mean if you can pick up 2 or 3 plots to connect to that rail, like I'm sure everyone would just love to run it through, right? And I've been stacking wood and rail, well, I mean, basically since Gratitude, which the only 3 people in that world when we really started was Anders, Any Observation, Michael, EOS USA, myself, well, and Yoshi, Yoshi's daughter, when she started dropping people out of the sky, because she's a really cool build she wanted them to see. And a few others came in early, but we've been there for a long time. Also, to Corey's point about the wherewehideallthealpha.com, again, we do try to put articles out every day. I've slowed down a little bit, but luckily I've had some help from some community members. And I'm going to drop this in the comments. Now, this is some alpha community featured articles. There's about 7, I think, that are listed there. Shameless plug if you want to show your build. The Uplift tour bus if you want to, take some photos and fill them in and send them over. Like we do one a day, but I don't honestly, I'd rather spend my time editing other people's images and I have kind of my own personal blog on the site called Roundabout Impressions, where I just wander and do perspectives. I haven't had so much time for that recently. But yeah, definitely if you've got builds out there that you want to have a feature on the blog, it's really easy. 5 or 6 sentences for a shameless plug, some images, and we can throw those up in 15 minutes and push them out and tell everyone what you're doing. So please check out that article, share that article around, click on the little forums link, and you'll see it's actually really easy, right? And it gets you guys exposure too, right? It gets us tagged, people will come and see your builds, which will, get you rewards. It'll be great. So yeah. And
yeah, no, I think I think that makes sense, and we getting back into this age-old argument. So Thune is going to be creative, Lisa, and we can talk about potential stuff there. On the flip side, I think I acquired a couple of 250s in Genesis, so we might be able to talk about that too, because I have an inkling of what you're building. If you want to partner up with it, we can make a dope deal. But again, like I think Thune is going to have some room, and Thune is going to be creative as well. So there's going to be a lot more space on that stuff. Yes. Well, and this is going to be the thing too, right? Is like aiming for a larger audience than we can handle. Inviting in. I mean, this is where we want to get something that's big enough that we can create an event server and have it be its own destination too. Because again, I have an idea for what you're doing, which is gonna be pretty fun. My bid for gratitude. Sniper's gonna snipe. Anyway, gratitudes. We got 5 people here would love gratitude from each one of you. I have a weird one today. I'm grateful for bullies, Jimmy.
Okay.
Yep. I wasn't grateful for bullies most of my life, but it was when I finally realized that the only thing they understand is when you turn around and knock them the fuck out. It was a turning point in my life. And I'm dealing with another one this morning, and it just gets easier.
Fair enough.
Because I don't.
I gotta get.
Fuck.
I gotta get better at that, actually. Because I'm too nice, as we all know.
Well, a little bit like I'm kind of lying because I'm actually super duper seething at the moment. But I'm trying to hide it because I'm with my fam and you guys are fucking fantastic. Awesome, Zestra.
I like how you brought that back around to the pissants.
See, I didn't right. Like, way to tease us with this. Like, clearly there's a rant coming, and then you're like, yeah, but we got to talk about it, which we do. We have to talk about the auction. Blah blah blah. Yeehaw. Anyway, gratitudes, and then we can get into the insanity.
Your screen's not showing.
Yeah, it is.
It's not on mine. It just shows the tower. Sorry, it shows the cathedral.
Yeah. I'm seeing it. Anybody else not seeing it?
Oh, maybe that's a problem on my end. Huh. All right. Well, let us know if you can see the gratitudes. I can't. It's a nice cathedral, though.
Thanks.
So
I'd like to someday build something that is, because like I don't want the last thing that I ever build that's cool to be that. Although, granted, like Uplifters Tower, I mean, it's been a kind of a community effort, but it's pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, we were talking about this the other day, and we thought like there definitely we should do this at some point. I think one of the first community events that I want to do is kind of like I alluded to earlier, the 10 wonders of the Uplift world. Right? Before we go anywhere, I'd like to see like the 10 old school wonders of the Uplift world, right? And like what people's nominations would be, right?
That's
like,
I love that idea because like there's 100 at least, right? Like how do you pick them? Oh man, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, right. Like I think the cathedral like should definitely be one, right? Like Gary's Tuttle building, like that's an amazing build. There's so much going on in there. I'd like to see that. Well, basically, our version of the private rail, which you'll be able to see from space. There's some really cool things. So. Yeah, I don't. So I didn't. Corey knows, and I've been kind of keeping it quiet because I like to have a plan in place. But I've been dealing with some stuff too, and I get lost sometimes. Corey's helping me and a few other friends. So today I'm grateful for I don't know how to say this because there's family involved too, but I'm grateful for friends that yell at me. This is kind of important. I need to get my ass kicked sometimes, and I don't always listen. I mean, and it does cause more problems, but like we all have our own perspectives, and we all kind of get zoned in on things, and sometimes we need people to pull us out. There's some really interesting people that I never really met that I hang out with almost every single day here in the Uplift World, and in the crypto space as well. And so, there's, I'm at the point now where I just need to make this work because I need to be right in choosing to work with the people that matter and do my best to, put bullies where they belong. And I'm not talking about turning around. I'm talking about other kinds of shit. Like you should fucking go to jail.
Well, we don't want to get any of that. It's funny. I was talking to Michelle yesterday. Michelle's my wife, for anybody who doesn't know. And it's a fine line, right? Because like to the right thing to do long term is to spend way more time with the Zestras and the Lisa Chandlers, and like the people that are on this show and the Uplift team and you, right? Like that collaborating and creating new and cool things. That's where we find joy. That's where we find purpose and mission. All that's fantastic, right? Rounding on a bully, and again, this is sort of the conversation we ended up having. The last thing we want to do is have any kind of drawn out fight, right? Like that is like the absolute last resort, because it damages so much of the potential future when we waste milliseconds and millijoules of energy over and over and over again on conflict. But where you can kind of pull a hard six and tap them on the nose and put them in their place a little bit, and so that but for the explicit purpose of, in my opinion anyway, getting back to being able to be constructive, right? Because I with the week that's passed, and Jimmy, a little bit about that, and just the couple months that have passed, I have like an underlying lack of patience, we'll call it. And like I'm just like I'm ready to throw bombs. And it's the dumbest thing that I could do, right? Like the only time that is ever allowed to come out is if I'm surgically 1,000% certain that it will be necessary, right? And that's almost never the case. Anyway, I'm ranting a little bit. Anyway, thank you for the gratitudes. Okay, we got more gratitudes. We kill you at the end of the ceremony. Wow. Oh, that's Giancarlo is going to the next. It's like it's in survival. So I mean, it's all gratitude until they take you to the top of the pyramid and freaking cut your digital heart out. What? Anyway, so yeah, the sooner we get back to purpose and mission, the better. Grateful for path design. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the Uplift community. And I'm also grateful for working with a team that appreciates value and understands what crypto is supposed to be all about, decentralized nature, not again, I'm being very careful with my words because eventually I'm just going to turn all my files over to someone and something's going to happen. But like I just really detest projects that put up a front for something that they're not, right? And I'm not talking about projects that fail. I'm talking about people who are coming in, and there's a bunch of them, right? There's a bunch on Wax, there's a bunch of it on Ethereum, there's a bunch all across the board that come in and make empty promises and don't execute on purpose, or they just move from one money grab to another money grab. And that's not what I'm here for in this space. I'm here for the decentralized aspect. I'm here for the community. I'm here to change the world. And it's funny because a lot of people who are in crypto are here because of the Wild West, right? Because of the fact that there is no regulation and there are no banks. But I mean, there are a ton of projects that are here for the simple reason that they can get away with things that they couldn't in the real world. And I think that's damning to the whole space. I think that's not why I'm here. And so that's what's always in the back of my mind, right? Like, and I think that's one of the things that I like about the Uplift World is we're not just, Minecrafters. I'm not even a Minecrafter, right? Like we're not just this project that is trying to sell NFTs and make millions of dollars. Like actually, for the most part of it, like we're eating our own dog food, right? we're in there grinding for these auctions, building communities with ourselves, right? I want to get back to that, like you said, Corey. I want to get to the point where we can just spend time, living in the metaverse and uplifting projects and showcasing all the amazing projects that are doing wonderful things, because there's so many of them in especially Gratitude and Genesis are two kind of foundational survival and creative servers of those communities who came in from the very early days that have been doing amazing things, not only in the Uplift world, but like across the space. Smart digital payments, for example, Anders, Any Observation, Michael, EOS USA, and his crew, and like a whole plethora, Crownlandia, Jenner, EOS, the Meta Collect Finny people, right? Like all of those early communities. If you haven't done it, go seek them out on the map and look at what they've built in the last year. We're like a year old, and that's it. But there's a lot that's went down in a year. It's pretty amazing stuff. All right, so I want to do one more. And as we know, my computer's all messed up. So Corey, if you could maybe let's watch another promo video, because we've still got a couple more days left. It's in the private,
this is the one. Okay, cool.
Private chat.
Man, this one really grew on me.
Right?
I felt like such an old fuddy duddy when it was the Jedi that made this one, right? Kawamoto?
Yeah, it was the Jedi. It was supposed to be a demo for a community one, and he just blew it out of the water.
Just like, oops, I'm too good at this. Yeah, and it's like super fast cuts and like you can barely read it and stuff like that. But then I remember like this is the TikTok generation now, where like no, you can't see it, you pause it, you fucking muggle. Like that's like only I'm too old. But I liked it the more I saw it. Okay, sorry. Let me pull this up here. Do.
Yeah, also like if you guys know of people who are streaming in the Uplift world, definitely hit us up.
For reals. Okay.
Rock and roll.
Let me know if this is too loud, because I just jacked the volume up on it. Oh, that's all right.
All right.
So yeah. Whoa. It just went right into Jen.
I actually created a Discord server in hopes of teaching DeFi literacy using the Uplift world as one of my examples. Hey, Formula 38, like link me to that somewhere. Tag me in Discord. I'd love to. I'd love to explore that. I think that's a really cool idea. We've another friend who's exploring ideas for learning inside the Uplift world, which I think will be really cool once it gets done. So, all right. Yeah, I mean Zestra, you've been here for a little bit longer, so before the Uplift was the Uplift. So, but it does feel like months at times, and feels like decades at other times. But yeah, the puff at the end. Shout out to Smiley. He's killing it with those little innovations and things. So, I'm pretty excited. There's gonna be I think tomorrow we're gonna do some live final minute auction coverage over in Uplift, maybe a little bit in Borealis and Swineland. In Swineland, there's kind of a lot going on in the Badlands. Those rails, it's kind of a quite rare biome, so there's a lot of people who are interested in picking up those shades of dirt, I guess, or clay. And Uplift is probably always been our busiest server in a way. There's always a lot of action going on there, so I'm kind of excited to see the color coded map for that tomorrow. So we'll be back for that. Again, go over to the Discord and vote on that poll, because that's Corey brought up yesterday. We're probably not going to be doing anything in any of these worlds for a long time. So like your last chance is like really your last chance. Now there might be some other options that we could explore in the future, but to be honest, I'm kind of personally preferential to letting people, especially in the survival worlds, get something together from all these auctions. Because again, this is the first time that people were really able to go in and pick up their own estates and build them out and do all of these amazing things. So, that's true. Yeah, there's some really interesting rail plots definitely in that area. So, so Corey, do you have anything else? If not, maybe we can wrap it up.
That's true. Yeah, the Swineland plots. I think I actually was talking to somebody who bid like right next to the rail, like that nobody had done anything in those maps at all. And, those maps are like there's not a lot going on there yet, right? So like I get it, but like fuck, like it's so open. Anyway.
Well, and like the rail in well, the last time I was in there, it was pretty full. I mean, I'd say about 70% full. Over, again near the Badlands.
Oh yeah, the second people realized, and by people I mean the CK7. they've been looking for terracotta Badlands in somewhere in a survival district for quite a while. Greg was actually whining. Greg doesn't usually whine, but when he does, I'm gonna bust his balls about it. That there wasn't any Badlands, and I think it was like 2 hours later that somebody figured out, like, hey, there's Badlands underneath the rail in Borealis or where the Swineland or whichever one it was, right? I was like, I did not know that, but I think there will be some excited people about it. Then he didn't want me to tell. He was joking about it. He didn't want me to tell anybody about it, tongue in cheek, so that he could go bid on some stuff. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, like there's a lot of cool things you can do with that stuff. So it's like rarity and scarcity, Jimmy. It just is what it is. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, I guess scarcity? We gotta go.
Are we going with scarcity on that?
We gotta go do some stuff.
Yeah, that's a really good point, right? If you miss your bid because your technique was waiting, no, but you did it to yourself. I mean, it was interesting, right? Like I think there were a few people that were outbidding, early in the day, but I didn't see that. I got scooped on one of my plots very last minute. Which I'm okay with because, like, hopefully that person will want to, link the rail. But I didn't see near as many last minute scoops as what was in the chicken caw auction, just because there were so many options. I think maybe Uplift might be a little bit more action heavy though. So definitely go and check out Gratitude though. I know there was and London too, but I know in Gratitude there was some ballers in there today building. I was doing some stuff, surveying some land, and there was like some comments. It's like, how did you build this so fast, right? I think it was I can't remember, but like over around the Gratitude spawn area, it's been kind of built up. So Gratitude 250 in Tiger biome. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm probably the only crazy one that like bid mostly on smaller plots just to connect that But I also I highly recommend if we open up for another 24-hour auction, go over to enter.theuplift.com. Sorry, enter.theuplift.world and open up the Uplifting page and have a look at the stats for how much Uplifting per hour various lands and rails across various servers are catching. It might be kind of interesting for some of you people who are looking to acquire a couple more pieces, because I was kind of blown away by the diversification of numbers from one server to another. So definitely worth noting if you don't really care where your plots are. Rail shops, things like that. It's going to be really cool, I would imagine. So Zestra, we definitely need you to go into here, because we've actually, Sue kind of told me about this. Please scroll up and go to wherewehideallthealpha.com, because I know you've been building in here for ages, and I definitely would love to have some of your shops and some of your other amazing builds featured on our article. If you got some images and some things for a shameless plug, or whatever you've been doing, I think it would be really cool to have some of your things up there, because I don't think we've actually done that yet with you. Most of the other CK7 we put some stuff up, but nothing of yours that I recall. So if you have time, that would be great. All right. Well, I guess that's it for today. Next week, I guess we'll be back with our guests. If you do have guests that you would like us to interview, or projects that you have in mind, please reach out. We've had a few that have done that before, but I don't know. That's all I got for today, Corey. If you're done, let's
let's call it. I gotta focus, unfortunately, on super fun stuff.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Happy auctioning tomorrow, and you guys all take care.